Hello, my Bill 1000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. All right, we are back with another That chapter. This one is titled The Bizarre Manhunt for Kaitlin Armstrong. All right. Before we get into this one today, this one is requested by a subscriber that pretty much said we needed to watch this one and went through Coffee House Crime because we watched a Mr. Ballin video on the Kaitlin Armstrong, and they know how much I like to see it from different perspectives and get a little bit more information. A lot of us do. I like to know everything. All right, so I'm really excited to get into this story. So let's go ahead, turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, cut up with something special. Let's get informed. Yeah, let's keep it. Let's get informed.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, what I have for you today is we are going on a chase, if you can believe that. This is about bikes, my friends, the fierce world of pedally. Turns out it's no joke. It's a story of love, but it ain't lovely, and it's the tale of Kaitlin Armstrong, whose end is only beginning. Kaitlin Armstrong, what a gal. She really should have been called Kaitlin Legstrong, because she did quite the runner till literally last week. 43 days she was out there evading, 43. Couldn't do 44 though, huh? Honestly, this is a story I've been itching to cover because it is wild. Perfect for giving a go. Let's do.
Oh, heck yeah. If he's excited for it, that means it's going to be good. I love it when he gets excited for it. Oh.
Austin is where this stone-cold case takes us. A city which ranks #1 in the world by some definitions for places to live. Who knew? Well, probably the people who live there. The quality of life is reportedly quite high. And, pop scholar light cigarette, pretty cool. This story is cool too. Not in the, cucumber way, though. Like in the cold way, for such a hot city. This story began years ago, but our story begins on the 11th of May, 2022 at about 9:56 p.m. An officer was called for an urgent welfare check on Maple Avenue, Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Inside a house on that street, the responding officer found 2 women. One Kaitlin, Kat, and she was performing CPR on one Mariah Mo Wilson. It was immediately apparent that Mo had been shot multiple times, and cartridge cases were nearby, but no gun. 14 minutes after responding, at 10:10 p.m., Mariah Wilson was pronounced dead at the scene. So, what led to... what?
Exactly.
Anna
Okay,
Mariah Wilson was a world-class gravel cyclist. I know nothing about cycling, so let's just get that out of the way here first. Still stabilizes for you, boy.
I agree. I know how to ride a bike, but other than that, I don't know shit. I can do some tricks. I've said this in another video. Okay, I used to be able to do some tricks. Probably not no more. I'd break a hip.
What is gravel cycling, by the way? It's kind of like a combination of all other biking, but also not. It's got the endurance of long road races with the bouncing terrain of mountain biking. How can we make biking more difficult seems to be the philosophy. One Mariah was all about, and she was a Vermont native. Mo, daughter of Eric and Karen, grew up with one brother.
I mean, if you have the right bike, though, would you even really notice that you're riding on gravel? Yeah, a bike for everything. I'm just saying, would it really be that bad?
In rural northern Vermont, a place which spawned and developed her love of biking. She was cycling through her education. In 2019, she graduated from Dartmouth College with an engineering degree. But what she was really into was being a professional bike racer, and, geez Louise, doesn't get any better than her. In fact, all athletics really, like downhill alpine skiing too, she placed 3rd in the 2013 US Junior Championships. Mo quickly cycled to the top of mountain racing and gravel racing. Podiums, medals, oh my.
Put a really hard effort in at the end, so yeah, I'm stoked. I'm really happy.
Where she once worked at Specialized, the bike brand in California, recently enough she had went pro full time, and she loved traveling the world.
We're here in San Diego, and we're joined with Mariah Wilson. And you came down from Northern California to test out the Belgian waffle ride. Yep. What do you think so far?
Well, I've really only been here a couple hours so far, so still kind of scoping it out, but did do a little bit of a pre-ride earlier on some of the gravel sections. So,
Okay.
Course seems sweet.
Good.
I think I have my bike my setup dialed.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's great. I'm stoked to be here.
Recently, though, her dream was to come home to Vermont, East Burke, her hometown specifically. She wanted to create a local community space, a place for local artisans, craftspeople, food and drink producers, that sort of thing. And Mo was a person who pushed tirelessly towards her goals. This is something she would have done, and it would have been great. Everyone described Mo as an incredibly supportive person, and so I'm sure people would have been supportive of her. Tragically, her life was cut short at only 25 years of age in Austin.
Damn.
Why?
I mean,
Well, you know,
I mean, I know we've watched this, but still, damn. This is the way he tells it from. It's different than how Mr. Bond came into it. Mr. Bond came into it with, like, I believe her and the dude having an affair just, like, right off the bat. Which, it's okay. I enjoyed the story through him. But I do like the way he's doing it, too. So, I really do like watching it from different angles. I do.
no reason is ever really good enough. But sure, we will give it a go. 34
There is nothing to see. It's just rocks and dirt. I got that in my driveway.
years old, he too was a very successful, award-winning, podium-slamming guy. He lived in Austin, Texas, and when he wasn't racing, and often winning cycling races, he was working at his company, Wheelhouse Mobile, a company which specialized in refurbishing old vintage trailers. Pretty cool, hipstery. He did this for his own needs, of course, traveling the country for races and needing a room for his bikes. And now he wanted to see if others would be interested too.
Welcome to Wheelhouse Mobile here in windy Lockhart, Texas. It's a beautiful day for a tour. We have our shop dog on hand, and yeah, let me show you guys around.
He ran the company with the help of his girlfriend, 34-year-old Kaitlin Armstrong. She worked too as a yoga teacher and real estate agent in Austin, and she had been in trouble with the law before.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
Back in 2018, she had a $650 Botox procedure done, and when it was over, she was like, paying? Nah, not for me, really. No, that's for suckers. She handed over the card. It was declined, and she was like, hey, I left my actual card in my car. I'll be right back. Of course, she never came back, and she was later charged with larceny. But of course, her law-breaking days were behind her now. In 2019, she met and started dating Colin Strickland. They hit it off. They moved in together. They started, she helped him set up a wheel.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say, like, barbershops and stuff like that always let you pay after you get it done. No. No. You help that. What are you gonna do? Like, remove the Botox from her? Super glue their hair back to their head?
House mobile and everything was going great. That was until October 2021 when Kaitlin and Colin, they went on a break. Why did they go on a break? Unknown, I don't know. But for a couple of weeks in that autumn, the autumn of 2021, they were on a break, and that is when she came into Austin for a race, and she met Colin. They started seeing each other. They, of course, met through cycling, and they dated, but it wasn't for long. Just a couple of weeks as Kaitlin and Colin would reconcile. It seems that Kaitlin found out about Colin and Mo, and she was none too pleased, let me tell you. This seemingly boiled her piss like nothing else, and she started, calling Mo, just having a go at her. Now, Colin would change Mo's name in his cell phone. He would delete messages so he could still contact her, but it seems Kaitlin, she was a wily one. She cracked the case. And, well, she kind of started stalking Mariah. She shut that shit down because she didn't want Colin talking to anybody, especially not Mo. Hard to believe this woman would kill somebody only a few months later. I mean, allegedly. Kaitlin continued to kind of stalk Mariah, calling her, stalking her socials over then the following couple of months. In May 2022, Mo traveled to Austin for a race, the Gravel Locust Race. She flew in on the 10th, and the race was due for the 14th, and she was staying with her friend, Kat. Both Colin and Mariah were due to participate in this race. It's a tough one, 155 miles under a Texas sun, through mad elevation ranges and wetlands, and mostly on gravel. Fair play to you. So that then takes us to the 11th of May.
I would not want to. Why would you want to ride a bike in Texas? Like, wouldn't your ass melt to the seat? Or the seat melt to your ass? There's all kind. Don't ride bikes there.
2022. That day, Kat was at a friend's house when Mo texted her saying she was going to meet up with her friend, Colin, and they would go splish splash. They'd go swimming together at the local pool. Kat went back to her house. She talked to Mariah, for a little bit, and then Kat left the house at 5:30 p.m. and she returned at about 9:55 p.m. When she returned that evening, she found Mo in the bathroom, bleeding and unconscious. She called 911. When the police arrived, they found Mo's bike, which had been in the house, down the block, like hidden, partially hidden behind some bamboo, as if someone had wanted to make this look, maybe, like a robbery gone wrong. I'm sure those bikes are probably worth, a pretty penny. So Kat left her house at 5:30 p.m. and returned then shortly before 10 p.m. So what?
How expensive do bikes get? Last time I bought a bike was for my kids, and I think it was like $60. In a minute. But I'm not talking about, I mean like a bike, like an actual something you're going to go out and climb a mountain with. You know what I mean? Or do they get really expensive? I'd imagine they'd have to.
Happened during that time? Well, on her front door she had an electronic lock with an app on her phone that told her the specific time when the door was locked or unlocked. At 5:55 p.m. it was locked, so that's likely when Mo went out to go swimming. Then the house was unlocked at 8:36 p.m. Mo came home. What's interesting is that nearby surveillance showed a dark SUV stopping right outside the house 1 minute after Mo got home. She had been followed.
There it
The app
is.
showed that Mo hadn't locked the door after her. So Kat had told the police that Mo went to meet with Colin, and when the detectives went to Colin's house,
Always lock the door behind you, people.
didn't they just see a dark-coloured SUV in his driveway? Colin would tell them that was Kaitlin's vehicle. Colin said that day he drove over to where Mo was staying, he picked her up on his motorbike, they went for a swim, and then they went for burgers. He then dropped Mo off at around, 8:30 when she entered the house, and then he started driving home to the house he shared with Kaitlin, and on his way there he texted Kaitlin, "Hey, are you out? I wanted to drop off some flowers at a friend's house and my phone died. Heading home unless you have another food suggestion." So Colin had obviously turned his phone off and now was texting Kaitlin to be like, "Oh yeah, this is where I was," covering for a meeting with Mo. He then got home and Kaitlin arrived driving that dark SUV around 9:30 p.m. He also told the police that a couple of months before this, in December 2021 and January 2022, he had bought 2 handguns. One for him, one for Kaitlin. The police found them. So what did Kaitlin have to say for herself when she was questioned by the police about her whereabouts and her car, her vehicle being seen at the murder scene? Well, she had no explanation as to why her vehicle was outside where Mo was killed, and didn't deny or really say anything to the police. She got angry when the detectives brought up Colin and Mo's relationship, and well, when they said to her, things don't look really good, she nodded. No shit. She then asked to leave the interview. Mariah had a Strava account, which basically tracks.
I don't remember Ms. Bones. She's like, that's great. She knew she was fucked.
When you bike, your routes, and so on. As a well-known cyclist, hers was public, and she had her route in Austin on it. Kaitlin likely knew this. In the following days, two separate anonymous people contacted the police. The first one said that Colin and Mariah's relationship was a little bit more on again, off again than people really knew. Maybe they still had been secretly seeing each other. The other anonymous caller said that Kaitlin knew that they hadn't, cut the cord back in the autumn of 2021, and reportedly she was furious and said she was going to kill Mariah Wilson. Perfect timing when Mariah had to come back to town for a race. The extent to which Mariah and Colin were together seems rather...
See, and I know we have heard this before, but just hearing it, the way he's telling it, it just kind of sucks you back into it again. It's like, I love it.
Unclear, just judging, like when the police were able to hit Mariah's phone and they could go through her texts. It seems like not even Mariah or Colin knew what they really were. Were they friends? Were they more than friends? It was quite muddy, but to Kaitlin it was crystal clear. Finally, two more things the police would learn. One was that the handguns they found, the ones that Colin had bought for himself and Kaitlin, well, it matched the bullets found at the crime scene. So they had the murder weapon, or they were pretty sure it was the murder weapon, right? And two was that the landlord of Kat's place, he lived in that building also, and he said he opened the garage door at about 8:30 p.m. and he heard somebody sprinting out of the house. It was on the 17th of May, 2022, that an arrest warrant was issued for Kaitlin Armstrong for first-degree murder. By that time, she was long gone.
The investigators say Kaitlin Marie Armstrong shot and killed professional cyclist Anna Mariah, or Mo Wilson. The motive? An apparent love triangle. Now, that shooting happened last Wednesday in a home on Maple.
I like how she said that. An apparent love triangle. Like it was just dirty. Dirty. I love it.
Avenue in East Austin. 25-year-old Wilson was staying with a friend ahead of a race in Hicko, Texas, which is northwest of Waco. Just before 10 p.m., police got a call from Wilson's friend saying she found Wilson shot. She died at that home.
Investigators say 35-year-old Kaitlin Marie Armstrong murdered Wilson. Armstrong has now deleted her social media accounts and was last seen by her boyfriend on May 13th. They believe at this...
I mean, honestly, like if you murder someone and you're like out, I would delete all social media. You don't want to see that shit. You don't want to be part of that. Social media does play like a really big role in the way things handle anymore. You can find people easier if they're able to be found. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Just social media, it has its ups and downs, pros and cons, goods and bads.
At this point, she may have fled the country.
She thought to herself, dang, I'm in a tight spot. Best skedaddle. She did the,
Plus, last thing you want is to be running from the police. The next thing you know, your Facebook location comes on and they're like, hey, they just checked into Jolly Pirate Donuts again. Minerva Cedar.
the good old Irish goodbye. And by that I mean she left without telling anyone. And by left I mean she went on the run. Colin said he last spoke to Kaitlin on the 13th of May. She left Austin on the 14th of May. Flight records showed she got a plane from Austin to Houston. And then she got a connecting flight to LaGuardia in New York City. So she arrived in New York on the 14th of May. Then we got 4 days for when she is unaccounted for. The arrest warrant was issued on the 17th. Then, on the 18th, she got a ride to Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. And then she disappeared. She did not board any flights under her name. She just vanished. You know what that means. Either surveillance isn't omnipotent, or she was a ghost the whole time.
U.S. Marshals are looking for this woman, Kaitlin Marie Armstrong.
Kaitlin Armstrong in connection with the murder.
She could be anywhere at this point.
However, law enforcement officials do have an idea of where she could be: New York.
Murdering an elite cyclist in a fit of jealous rage 2 weeks ago.
Once confined to Texas, has now crossed state lines.
It has been exactly 1 month since rising star cyclist.
She probably went into a panic when she was interviewed by the Austin Police Department. She probably knew they had a lot of information on her.
More than a month has passed, and Armstrong has managed to stay off the grid.
U.S. Marshals have now upgraded the classification of the hunt for a fugitive and murder suspect, now calling it a major case.
The hunt was on, and it was big, and everywhere. 21,000.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, go big. Fuck it. This sucker watched like way too many Charlie's Angels movies and shit. Like, change my face. Become someone new. Damn. I wonder.
$1,000 was offered by U.S. Marshals for any information leading to her arrest. It turned out that on the 13th of May, she sold that SUV for 12 grand. Unfortunately, a check. Ooh, probably not the cash she was hoping for. The bit of cha-ching, because she sold it at quite the discount. Apparently they're reselling it for like 30 grand. Robbing bastards. Then someone reported a spotting.
Did fugitive murder suspect Kaitlin Armstrong hide out in this remote campground?
Kaitlin had a sister, Christy, a couple of years younger than herself. But it seems they were close growing up together in Michigan. Christy, it's reported, worked at Camp Haven in Livingston Manor, about a 2-hour drive from Newark Airport. Camp Haven is an educational nature retreat, camping, hiking, all that. Seems Christy worked there as part of their communications team. Kaitlin was spotted there, so it's entirely likely she went to her sister for a couple of days, hid out. In fact, people thought maybe she might be using her sister's identity. They looked so alike. Then the arrest warrant was issued on the 17th, and the 18th she went to Newark, and well, she wasn't listed on any flights. She now had 2 charges, alleged murder and unlawful flight to avoid prosecution.
That's a crime? Unlawful flight to avoid persecution. Holy shit. Okay, I think they're just kind of making up shit now. Is that like an actual thing? Like, you can't just be like, oh, they ran away. No, you gotta get fucking technical with it. They didn't run, they flew. Illegally.
So now, just like weeks would pass, she was gone. I was mad to cover this. I actually was checking. I was Googling this story every day for like the last month to see if there's any updates. None. Until last week. It seems Kaitlin took the scenic route. You know, getting to where she wanted to go. She went 1,700 miles in the opposite direction. Or it was a red herring. The sly dog. She's playing 5D chess in space while we're failing at snakes and ladders. Armstrong should be called Brainstrong. Oh wait, shit. She got caught. Though her getting caught was really just bad luck for her.
Really? That's crazy. How can people do that? This
2,500 miles south of Austin, Texas, lies Provincia de Punta Arenas. Surfs up on the tropical, beautiful Santa Teresa beach. Really does look quite stunning, and hey, I can think of worse places to hide out when you're on the run. Kaitlin thought the same. She took one look and said, hey, not gonna kick this out of bed for farting. It's a small little fishing town, about 3,000 people live there. What a place to hide. Until June 29, 2022. She'd been on the run for 43 days.
That's not bad, though.
It seems she did
in the grand scheme of running, bro, that's not bad with like all those people looking for you. That's pretty good.
Indeed, board an airplane in Newark Airport. She got a flight from New Jersey to San Jose, Costa Rica. This was on the 18th of May. She did so under a fake passport. Womp womp.
Damn.
She then was staying at a hostel in Santa Teresa Beach. She cut and dyed her hair and was living a good life on this beach. This is like, friggin', what's that movie called with the prison? And he climbs through the shit. Redemption? Shawshank Redemption, yeah, so it's like that. She was gonna live out there with Red, having a great old time, building up an old boat and shit. But then...
So I won't comment too much on that passport as to what name it was under because it's still an ongoing investigation and we want to bring those facts that we've learned and that we soon discover more of to our prosecutors in this case. But I will tell you that that passport was a passport that was issued to someone else that was in very close physical description that she used because she looked very similar to that individual. She was frequenting.
Hold on, let me move my big ass head here. Take it back just ever so tenderly.
A passport that was issued to someone else that was in very close physical description that she used because she looked very similar to that individual. She was frequenting yoga studios to better enhance herself with the profession, where she may have become a yoga instructor here in the near future.
I'm pretty sure he's 100% correct. I mean, he went the longest ass backwards way of saying it was her fucking sister without saying it was her fucking sister. Really close, you know. It looked a lot, you know, but can that would explain people seeing her at the campsite and all that other stuff, maybe, you know.
So she was getting really ready to establish that next part of her career.
What led to her arrest was the police learned she had taken her sister, Christy's passport. Uh-oh. And then doing a quick little search, they found it had been used in Newark Airport on a flight to Costa Rica. So they knew she was in that country, and they gave the authorities there an old ring. Be on the lookout for someone using the name Kaitlin Armstrong. Then they worked on two assumptions. One was that she would try and find work through her old life, yoga studios, and two was that she would probably stay in a hostel, one because it would make her money last longer, and two, hostels tend to be frequented by international people who would speak English, and Kaitlin didn't speak much Spanish. Then she was simply stopped by the tourism.
Not to mention, there's people that come in and they're shady. I mean, a lot of people that go in hostels are pretty shady. Like, you just murder someone, you're gonna fit in some, you know, with other shady people.
Police. When asked for her name, she said Ari. The police then said, oh, alrighty then, come on, what's your real name? She said Kaitlin Armstrong. Bet you haven't heard of me. So, well, yeah. She is now being deported back to Austin, Texas. Things do not look good for her. So yeah, that's the story, to date. Anyway, quite the story it is. Crazy lady goes crazy, does crazy stuff.
Yep.
Amazing she went on the run for so long. Also amazing that she was able to use, I find it frankly astounding that she was able to use a fake passport in this day and age.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we was the same with like social media and everything else. It's crazy that she got that far. Like, if she could have got someone else's passport or anything else, or just whenever she got there started using a different name, or didn't stay very long, just kept on going. See, that's the problem. Once you do something like that, you can't stop. You just keep going. And when you run out of land, you turn and go that direction. It's like playing in Minecraft.
Well, the passport wasn't fake, it just wasn't hers. Can't beat a looky likey. I'm sure there's a lot more of this story to come. I mean, the alleged killer will likely have a real trial, so I'm sure I'll be back with more on this some other time. I'll probably update. I know I say that all the time. I really will do an update video on all the cases that have had updates. I promise I will do one eventually. There's just so many stories I want to cover.
That's a good point. All right, everyone. That was a good video. I really enjoyed it. I like how the way he came at the story too. That was, ooh, that was good. That was good. And that's how you know you've come across good storytellers, is they can take a story, tell it their way, and you still be just as enthralled in it as you was the first time. It's amazing. I love it. If y'all enjoyed today's video and story as much as I did, please leave a thumbs up. If you're a fan of the spooky, scary, strange, deranged, think about subscribing. I know one day I will change the outro. Yeah. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Like, no matter, I still have to hear this one more time. Coffee House Crime. And when he does it, whew, he goes for those tear-jerking moments, man. I dread it. I fucking dread that. I enjoyed this one, though.